are we associated? Because you could be a millionaire and nobody actually know that you're a millionaire. You don't have the actual fame that comes with, like, you could be rich and work at, the VP or the CEO or, the president of a healthcare firm or a business firm, whatever the case may be. Nobody's going to know that. But with that, is there like I guess, is it that popularity that comes with fame that is, the one thing that changes the dynamic between you and everybody else? Or is it the money, or like, the relationships? Like, what is that thing that I guess turns people from, your regular average Joe to an A-lister? Like, how do you go from A to C, or excuse me, from not being known to C to B to A? Is it the amount of money you make? You know what I'm saying? Is it because we've seen people who may not make that much money, but are still extremely famous and not making a lot of money that's relative to like the A-listers.
Well, yeah, I think that's a good point, because I don't think celebrity necessarily equates to wealthy, especially
Yeah,
now,
because there are a lot of
social
people
media
that are famous that are broke.
100%. Like 1 million followers ain't $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can have a lot of people that know your face and want to be in your space just to get that attention, but that don't mean you got the bread.
And having being the person in front of the camera and the person in front of the mic doesn't necessarily mean that you're the person with the dollars. It's usually the person behind the joint that's pulling the strings, and that can be like, you're hired, you're fired, you're getting a raise, you're not. So then,
but how do you think you do it though? I know the question is, do we think they can, but how do you think you actually maintain normalcy after the, like, I don't know what I would do if, I don't know, if my job was just like, yo, we're going to give you $150 million. And by the way, we're going to tell everybody with a public announcement. And then you step outside the building and it's just like, yo, that's the dude that just got $150 million. Like, you told these people my salary, how much I'm getting per year. Now they're doing the math for me and they're going to tell me what I owe in taxes. Like, these people know more about your money than you do. Or they know just as much about it as you. Like, how do you manage? Like, how do you think
you don't remember the dude in Jamaica that won the lottery
and showed up with the
with the mask?
Yep.
It was just like, and see, that's just the thing. People knowing what you make is usually, and a lot of times when you go and you look at somebody's net worth online, it be a facade. It don't even be the real thing. But like Kanye, let's use Kanye for example. He was teeter-tottering on, a little off back then, but it wasn't until Donda left this earth that I feel his level of rationalization went totally out the window, because that was his grounding person. Everybody has that person that can reel you back in and be like, wait a minute, what you doing? Sit on him. You know what I'm saying? And that was his person. He don't have that person. And no, I know for a fact, if you was your brother, my husband, and me alone, would be like, nigga, if you don't sit I would have a problem with it, because I love you.
I think that what you're saying points to a much larger problem, though.
What?
Because I think a lot of us, in terms of people of color, I think that we have underwent a myriad of experiences that have led us to mental issues, you know what I'm saying, that we never really address. We kind of just say, suck it up and be black, you know what I'm saying, and kind of do what you do. So I think now that there's such a spotlight on it, especially, it becomes different, because at least to what you're saying, like when it comes to Kanye, like he's probably had this clinically before she left, but those series of events were the catalyst for him to be what he is now.
But think about it. Kanye is from Chicago. He's from a home where his mom was a genius. She was a professor. She was very smart. So she raised him intellectually. And when you listen to like All Falls Down, right? And you hear what he was saying there, you knew that he had sense about the industry and how to move and what not to do and what to do then. And it seemed like from then to now, it was just like you knew it then, but now it's like you've become what you actually were rapping about then. Does that make sense?
To a certain extent. I don't think his sense was ever in question to me. It was just he was doing things that people didn't agree with. Because if you're judging him by his sense, the dude is a billionaire. Like he's doing something right business wise. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think his sense was ever in question. But when you have, when you're in that light and you're going through certain things mentally and emotionally, it tends to come out in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like we're judging him based on what we consider to be the normal standard of doing things. But we don't know what's going on with him personally. Like he could have been dealing with things clinically before she left. That's what I'm saying. And then her leaving.
You're talking about the bipolar situation.
Yeah, like he could have been had these issues. Like it doesn't, like when you have certain issues, it doesn't take away from your level of rationale or sense necessarily, but you tend to.
I thought you were talking about on the level of the blackness and the things that we go through.
No. But I'm saying like the black thing kind of was in reference to the fact that we've never really put an emphasis on
our mental
health. It was always, you know what I'm saying? If there's an issue, just work through it.
I think he's a unique case though, to some degree, because he's so up and down. Like today, it's like he'll give you the greatest speech on how we can uplift the community and how we can do this and be great. And then tomorrow he'll be like, well, I was just using the backpack rappers to get money. I don't really like to make it. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll just kind of like, well, yesterday you were saying this and today you're saying this. It's very weird.
Because remember that TMZ debacle and the Trump when he went into the White House with the Make America Great Again hat on, and you hugging this nigga like he's the savior of the world. And then you go into TMZ and you say that slavery was a choice.
But again, that points back to mental health. Those are
but I also think, I definitely think sometimes people try and say stuff. It's like, yo, look, you're trying to sound too smart and too intellectual to the point where now you just sound stupid. It's like, just, I just feel like sometimes people want to, you do things not even so much because it's like you feel this is right. You're just doing it because you think it's different. So if I just say something that's so far left from what everybody else is saying, then everybody's going to look at me like I'm the man. And it's like, not really. Like you've crossed the line here. Like this is crazy. Make America Great. You run with Trump. Slavery was a choice. All this other stuff. Like I remember he
runs for president himself.
Yeah. Like even when he did the whole Taylor Swift thing. I mean, obviously he was drinking and whatever, and he was drunk, but he was on the Leno show, I think it was after that. And the dude asked him, like, yo, what would your mom think about stuff like this? And then he started crying on the show. So I do think there is that, his mom was the grounding factor. But to me, he's so up and down. Like if I was friends with Kanye West today, I'd never send him a text message. I don't even know if I talked to him over a device. I would be like, yo, in-person meetings only, bro. Because clearly you can't say anything to him that doesn't end up, or at least Kim Kardashian can't say anything to him that doesn't end up being posted on the internet. I don't know if that's a mental issue or if you're just it's hard sometimes because it's like everybody has an agenda they want to push.
Because she can say that he's this, that, and the third, but yet you have 4 children with this nigga. So he clearly wasn't that bad after the first, second, or third. You know what I'm saying? So Kim, you sit down too. You all of y'all sit down. Because I'm tired.
Kanye is an example, but like
family, period.
I think his situation in terms of his level of fame mixed with his level of wealth, mixed with his level of influence, I would say is very akin to Mike in the sense of the issues and the lack of can't find a word, but essentially Mike was doing some crazy stuff too.
Yes,
but
remember,
then we just let it rock. Like,
and we didn't have social media the way we
right.
We didn't have social media at all back then.
Same things about
but
people now
Mike,
that he wasn't saying none.
Mike, Janet, I'm only using the two of them because those were the most famous out of the family. They didn't have the option to have friends as young children that will grow up with them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have friends as kids that grew up with them in the business, so they knew who was real. Everybody they met was either through the industry or outside of the industry, but it was at a time when they were already celebrities. Now, Kanye was able to foster relationships prior to getting to the status where he is right now. Unfortunately, he may not have any of those people around him right now. And the only person that was that grounding force for him was Donda, and she's no longer here. So all I'm saying is when you have people that you trust around you, you may not like everything that they say, but you trust them and you know that all they want is the best for you, you're going to keep them around you. But it seems like Kanye isolated himself. You can't really kind of get back to normal because now you think when you're in that mind frame, you're paranoid and you think everybody is against you. So he probably thinks Dave is against him. Everybody's against him. The whole world is against him. Kim is against him. The kids are against him. And he's fighting for himself. But unless he gets help.
That's to my point, though, for sure. There's a certain level of empathy that has to be had there.
I empathize. If I was to meet this man today, I would be like, Kanye, come. You could come to my house. I ain't got no $1 million, but you can sit on my couch and I'm gonna fix you something to eat. And we gonna pray and we gonna talk. Cause we something ain't right. I don't want nothing from you. I don't need nothing from you. But something ain't right.
Told you about running around messing with pork and white women.
Listen, when I met Tony, after he had came out as gay and the church ripped him to shreds because he was a gospel artist that came out as gay. And I was like, bruh, I'm praying for you. Bruh, he almost broke down in tears. He was like a spiritual architect. You were a spiritual architect. I was like, yeah, whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't think that when people are going through stuff, they're so used to people coming to beat them down. They're not used to people just being like, come here. Sometimes people just need to be heard and loved and hugged. But they so used to people around them wanting stuff from them, trying to pick from them and trying to get something from them. That's why I be trying to tell people, I don't need nothing from you. I got my own stuff. I got my own car. I got my own home. I don't need your stuff. But if I'm gonna be around you, I need to be able to deposit into your life and vice versa. And if I'm not there to do that, then I need to just be out. Cause I'm not worth nothing. If I'm not depositing, if I'm not helping you grow, then why am I in your life? Period.
Facts.
And I think celebrities, if they don't have those type of people around them, then their fate is going to be that of a bad one. because this industry, they will suck the life out of you and then chew you up and then spit you out and then be like, on to the next.
Now, I think if people like, I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was looking at something with Kobe and LeBron. And I was just like, and it was Kobe, LeBron, and Michael Jordan, and they were talking about how Michael Jordan, when he built his house, he had so much stuff in it because it was like, I can't really go to the movie theaters and also everything that you can't do outside, pretty much just build it right there at your home. Mm-hmm. I was just like, or when Floyd Mayweather goes to the movie theater, he's like, I buy out the entire theater to take my daughter to the movies. Like, that's doing a lot.
That sucks.
You see, yeah. Tyrese put a Benihana's in his backyard. Ain't that much hibachi in the world.
Like, we got Benihana's and Starbucks back here. It's like, why?
Now Starbucks, I could see.
He actually has I don't know if that's at the house he has in California, right? I know he has one in Atlanta too. That's actually really nice too. That he has like a life-size version of like Bumblebee or Optimus Prime in his house too.
I saw that.
I was like, all right.
It's very easy to have all that, but then it's very easy to have Iris after you too.
Yeah.
So, I'm for it. You can stay normal, given the people around you.
I'm going the opposite way. Everybody's too rich is weird.
Huh?
So I'm going the opposite way. If you're rich, you're weird. Like I'm not talking about like a
millennial answer.
I'm talking about like, because I think a mil right now is kind of like the new 100K.
Yeah, a million is like broke. What?
Yeah.
You ain't got no real money.
Call me when you get to billion status.
Yeah. Once you get to the like 8 figures, something like that, you weird.
I'd say 9.
Even with the whole idea of maintaining normalcy, I don't know how I would feel if I did something good or bad, and then just taking an athlete, because it's the easiest thing that I can think of. If you do something good or bad in the game, and then at 7:00 they're talking about you on First Things First, and then at 9:30 Shannon and Skip are talking about you. Then at 10:00 Stephen A. Smith and Molly and them are talking about you. Then at 12:00 you're on Sports Center, and then all the in-between shows they're talking about you. Then at 6:00 you're on the Primetime Sports Center, and then you're on social media circulating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how
that would be hard.
You would have to have depression.
Yeah. Or like Matthew Stafford, when they were talking about the Super Bowl and how that the lady was taking a picture and she stepped back and she fell and she ended up fracturing her spine. There were thousands of people at the Super Bowl parade. How is it possible that you're only singling out the quarterback because she was taking, and on top of that, he's at the parade because they won the Super Bowl. He is mad drunk. They were like, oh, he stepped back. He stepped back when she fell and he didn't run to her. I'm like, yo, there were like tens of thousands of people. Nobody helped her. And he was probably the drunkest of them all. How are we now on social media, on the radio, on, you know what I'm saying, sports talk shows? Matthew Stafford didn't help and he didn't do this. And then they come out, you know, don't worry about it. Like, we spoke to her. She's good. We're going to pay for all their bills and all this other stuff. Like, it's just so weird to me. Like, I couldn't imagine going outside.
Trying to celebrate winning and they're like, oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like this. If you go out on the street and you trip, you look around to see who saw it. It's different than you like Jay-Z, you trip up the stairs. It's all over Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Millions of people saw it. It's crazy.
Or if you step outside and you're walking down the street, let's say it's, all right, so let's just say the three of us are walking down the street and Kai is the super famous gospel singer, right? and some random guy comes up to me. He recognizes you, but he comes up to me and says, and he slaps me. So I slap him back. And then they try and sue you. Like, people do random stuff just to get.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then in the news, it's not going to say, oh, well, they did this to this person or they did this to Noel. It's like, no, it'll be like gospel superstar Kaya and her alleged friend.
Like, and her brother.
Yeah,
her brother-in-law.
Like, something stupid. Like, it's like, wait, what? Now they're being sued for $10 billion. And it's just like, yo, people really just out here waiting.
Yeah. But Dave Chappelle talked about it too. He was just like, I know the game. I know the game now. You can't catch me. That's why, like, even I train myself now. That video you showed me with the white dude that was calling the dude nigga, and that dude mollywopped him in the store. Like, I'm so now desensitized to people. Like, if somebody says something to me like that, my immediate, and I'm teaching like, your mother, and that's it. And I just walk away. Your mother. Oh, your mother's dead? Oh, I'm sorry. Your mother. Your father.
I feel like I'm on a different path with that. Like, I'm trying to get there because I feel like I was the person that was like, people would do crazy stuff like and say things like that, and you'd be like, you just shrug it off. But I feel like it's kind of getting to a point where I feel like, all right, y'all are doing this now. I don't know if you're trying to antagonize people or you don't care about how it sounds or you're just trying to be whatever it might be. I'm at a point now where it's like, nah, I think you might need to get hit one solid time.
Because you saw the guy wasn't even fighting back.
And then they look at you like you're crazy. Like, how dare you hit me? Shouldn't have been
like,
talking.
Whoa. All right. And then he said it again and he just literally just let him, and then he fall into the ground. Cause nigga, and I don't even think it was fun. It's like he was open-handed slapping him.
And that's my thing too. I'm so with that because I feel like slapping a dude is so much more disrespectful than punching him. Like, I'm hitting you right, I'm catching you right on this right here. Just, you know what I'm saying? One of those. Like,
I don't know what I'd do if I got smacked, to be honest.
But that word has no control over me. And the thing about it is, I call anybody. It don't matter what color you are. Stupid nigga. This nigga, Trump, his whole presidency. This nigga done. What this nigga?
It's just a universal term.
It's a universal term. So if somebody tries to say it to me and put that ER on the end of it, thinking that they're gonna get to me, your mother. That's why you ain't got no friends.
You're saying it wrong.
Yeah, your mother, and you ain't got no friends. Sorry. Not this girl. Not this girl. Not this girl. It doesn't work that way. A word? A word?
Not me. I'm keeping it all the way hood. White man can't jump style.
Now, if you say it and you touch me or you get in my face, because I don't like when people get in my face. So there's a level to it. Like, if you back in the back or you over there and be like, you stupid nigga, I'm just like, your mother, But if you come in my face and you're like, and you put hands on me,
I'm gonna have to get that baby powder.
Be like Dragonfly Joseph. What? You coming in my face? Or if you do something to my kids?
I don't even think at this point I don't even think you'd have to actually touch me. I feel like just based on
the word period.
9 times out of 10, I'm always gonna be like, all right, just chill out. Let's let's be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I get it. You're being mad extra, like whatever. But if I'm kind of like giving you a pass the first time or two, and you keep it going, because I feel like whenever I see like whenever I experience white people in that capacity, when you get upset, it's like, oh, see the angry black guy. I'm like, no, the angry black guy was cool the entire time. Now that I'm mad, you're trying to put, nah, we ain't doing that.
Like try that on somebody that don't know no better. But this chick, I can read, write, and erase you just with this mouth. I don't need anything. But if I have to, say something. This world is crazy. These crazy people out here. So, normal. I'm normal. Chris says no. Nori, what do you say?
I think you can. I think you can maintain a level of a new normalcy. I don't think it won't be the same normal as what it was when we broke, but I think you can get to a level of finding normalcy within your own life as you move through the ranks, whatever it might be. So yeah, I think you can maintain a level of normalcy.
Look at Cardi B. Cardi B was trying to be normal, trying to be down to earth. They
I don't think she was. I thought she was trying to be. She was trying to stay hood. Like, I ain't getting my teeth fixed. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. It's like, look, what do you mean you ain't getting your teeth? You better go get your teeth fixed with all that money. Like, yeah, you ain't doing nobody no favor by doing that. So look, you
but Janet can't get her nose fixed.
It's a different thing. All right. You can get your nose fixed if you want to.
Because let me tell you something. As soon as I get a little change, I'm gonna get this one right here, this one right here.
Look, it's cool. Like you can. I feel like you're allowed to do whatever it is you want to do. I just think there's excessive, and then there's like, all right, that's cool. Michael Jackson, that's excessive. Janet Jackson getting her nose done one time, that's cool.
Lil Kim, that's excessive.
That's beyond excessive. Like if you have had surgery so many times where you look worse now than before you even got anything done, you've officially gone too far.
I was watching She's All That, which was on cable the other day, and she was in it. And
She's all that. Was that Freddie Prinze Jr. in though?
I was like,
How the world has changed.
totally different person. She's like, damn, Kim. So we have 2-1. 2 yays, 1 nay. We can stay normal by gaining wealth.
You can't.
I said
And
new normal,
celebrity.
by the way.
A new normal.
I feel like
weirder.
as
Even
you
without money.
gain more money and fame, or if you get money and fame, whatever the case may be, I just feel like it changes. Whatever is normal for you is going to change. No different from if you have more money, the things you buy might end up being more expensive. You're not going to be looking to get, the 1985 Pinto anymore. I'm gonna try and get this Benz. And if you move beyond the Benz, you might be like, I'm gonna try and get this Lamborghini. And if you move beyond that, I'm gonna try and get this Phantom. Whatever it might be, like, I just think things change. You know what I'm saying? Like when it becomes
Oprah
easy
said
for you-
she was getting Range Rovers and getting all these cars, and she said now she has her little Beetle and she's good. She doesn't need all of those other things because but I actually feel like once I get to a level where the money is not a problem, I probably would move to a remote village in some continent where there's no like Wi-Fi access. Like it's like I would have to go inside the house to make a call. Like I'm feeding chickens and cows and sheep.
You're trying to build a sanctuary?
Like I would be off the grid. I would be off the grid. I would not be tapped into the matrix. I would not be plugged into the matrix at all times.
You send
Right now, I'm
messages
plugged
by
into the
bird?
main. Huh?
You sending messages by bird now?
Cuckoo! You know, I'm just, I would try to unplug completely because,
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. I would do that. That sounds good. Just get away for a while and then, I'll catch up with y'all when I'm
yeah,
ready.
everybody that needs to know how to get in touch with me knows how to get in touch with me.
I feel like once you live in America,
I low-key feel like everybody who would need to get in
things
touch
to
with me
worry
would be
about.
with me.
That part too. And the people like in my family that aren't like with me all the time, they would still know how to get in touch with me. Or they could just be like, Kaya, we coming. Okay. See you when you get here. I have plenty of artillery.
You need gun.
I'm just saying, you always gotta be ready.
You gonna mess around and blow your shoulder out or something?
No, I'm not. I'm watch. We gonna have, when we start doing shows live, we gonna do a show where I am going to do a front row into position into my shot. I'm going to do a front row and then get right into my shot.
By the end of the show, you're gonna have an arm sling.
That very well may be true, but I'll be smoking. Thank you all for this interesting episode of Up for Debate. Thank you to my favorite co-hosts, Noe B and Chris J.
Here. Always remember, if you get money, don't tell nobody.
Yeah, when you get paid.
Don't be on Instagram with the spread out on your arm. All that nonsense. Don't do that.
Don't tell nobody.
Just be willing to help.
Yes.
Philanthropy.
Philanthropy. That's right.
They said in a lottery ticket, give back.
Give back.
Film what we on.
Film what we on, baby. And if you are a part of a situation and you are with people and you know that they are struggling mentally, don't stand idly by and just be like, that's on you, dude. It's your job to say something and help, because sometimes people don't even know how to ask for it. This debate is done, but we don't know what the next debate will be. But no matter what it may be, you can bet your by golly wow that it will be up for debate.
Fab Maven, the official brand of the melanin movement, a bold and unapologetic brand for the culture that uplifts and empowers, a brand that says, we've got something to say. Go to fabmaven.com and get your online shop on.